Today is October 20th, and welcome to another installment of MacMull's Musings. Today, I'd like to talk about luxury brands. Specifically, I'd like to talk about some recent statistics that I saw in which the sale of luxury brands are, not surprisingly, given the current economic climate, less than stellar. Specifically, last week, LVMH, Europe's largest luxury brand, reported that its sales of Louis Vuitton and Dior products, or those lines rather, was coming back to earth. I think in 2021 and 2022, the company saw on average about 20% revenues year over year, and those revenues are now settled back down now to single digits, around 9%. Interestingly about LVMH is that until just last week, they were Europe's largest company, and yet they were taken over, or overtaken rather, by Novo Nordisk, of course, the maker of Ozempic, which is a very popular drug for diabetes at the moment. But the interesting thing about luxury brands, I think, is that they are heavily reliant on sales from China. And since COVID, China has not rebounded in the way that some other countries have, including most of Europe and the US. And that's true too, of course, or that impacts, I guess, the sales of other luxury brands, including, for example, Gucci and Cartier, who have also similarly experienced some recent downturn in sales. Economic indicators would indicate that people are now more interested in groceries and getaways than they are, I suppose, in a new $5,000 clutch. But the interesting thing about luxury brands is with this downturn in the economy, are we going to see a difference with respect to their enforcement campaigns as it relates to specifically trademark infringement and counterfeiting? And I would submit to you that the answer will be no. Certainly any seasoned trademark practitioner knows that, particularly in times of economic difficulty, an argument can be made that luxury brands, and all brands really, need to increase their enforcement, not decrease it. And that's because if there's going to be less sales all around, it's all the more important that the reputation and the goodwill that are associated with these companies are protected. And that's, of course, where we come in as Intellectual Property Counsel. So that's the week that was, and hopefully tune in next week where we'll be talking about it. In fact, I hope to revisit a very interesting case that just came down, I think last week or the week before, in the Second Circuit as it relates to rights of publicity. We spoke briefly about rights of publicity in our last episode when we talked about AI, and I think it'd be a good opportunity to review some of those issues. So join us next week. Thank you.